Hi, everyone. This is Paul Garrard. I'm founder and president of PGPresents, an independent student loan consulting company. We've put together a series of repayment modules designed to help you guys do a better job of managing your student loans. Module number 9 is on how to enroll in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program and to track your payments under PSLF. You will note that we have a previous module on the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program that we want to be sure you have taken a look at before you go through module number 9. Now, you may hear some folks say that they have applied for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. In all likelihood, that is not the case because you don't actually apply for PSLF to have your debt forgiven until you have made all 120 requisite or eligible payments. However, you can enroll in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program by submitting what's called the Employment Certification Form. And that document, which we're going to talk about over the next few slides, that document is always sent to FedLoan Servicing regardless of who your loan servicer is for your federal loan. So one more time, you don't apply for PSLF until you've made all your payments, but you can enroll in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program by submitting the Employment Certification Form. Now, the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Employment Certification Form is available online at studentaid.gov/public service. And this is the document that enrolls you in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. It's the trigger that tells FedLoan Servicing that you're interested in PSLF and that you want them to not only confirm that where you work qualifies as an eligible PSLF employer, but that you also want them to track your payments toward PSLF. Once again, folks, this document is not required, but if you don't do this document and then you apply for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, you are going to have to prove that you qualify for the program by documenting that you've made all 120 payments with an income plan on time on your direct loans while you were working for an eligible employer, and you really don't want to do that. You want the government to do that for you. It's strongly advised for you to submit this on an annual basis. Once again, this is not committing you to the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. It is simply enrolling you in the program and asking the government to track the payments for you. Once it is completed, you send it to FedLoan Servicing regardless of who your loan servicer is, because they are the only loan servicer under contract with the government to confirm that where you're working qualifies as an eligible employer and to track your payments. And you'll see the top of page 4, section 7, instructions on the form of how to send the document to FedLoan Servicing. Now, as I mentioned earlier, FedLoan Servicing is simply a loan servicer. There are other loan servicers, Navient, Great Lakes, Nelnet, many others. But they are the only loan servicer under contract with the U.S. Department of Education to help borrowers who are interested in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. And here's what happens. Once FedLoan Servicing receives your employment certification form, they will contact your current employer, your teaching hospital, to determine if, in fact, they are an eligible public service nonprofit employer. They will write you and confirm that that's the case. And if that is the case, if they are already your loan servicer, then you just start making payments to FedLoan Servicing as you would have anyway. They just know now to track those toward PSLF because they've confirmed that where you're working qualifies. And listen very carefully. If your loan servicer is not FedLoan Servicing, when they get that employment certification form, they have no idea who you are, but they now know that you're interested in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. So after they contact your employer, if they determine that your employer is an eligible PSLF employer, they will take over the servicing of your loans and they will notify you that they are doing that. The terms and conditions of your loans don't change, and that process takes about 45 to 60 days. So one of the questions we get is, well, when should I send in the employment certification form? If FedLoan Servicing is already your loan servicer, you can submit this over the summer, probably the earlier the better. We suggest you consider doing this at orientation. I assure you the designated official at your teaching hospital, be it your program director, your house officer, or your GME director, this is a document they are very familiar with. So if FedLoan Servicing is already your loan servicer, we suggest you do this at orientation. All that means is that by the time your loans enter repayment later in the fall, FedLoan Servicing already knows to track them because they've already confirmed that your teaching hospital is an eligible PSLF employer. If FedLoan Servicing is not your loan servicer, we do suggest that you do this at orientation as quickly as possible because, again, if it's going to take 45 to 60 days for FedLoan Servicing to confirm that where you're working qualifies and then to move the loans from your current servicer to their servicing system, you want to be sure that happens over the summer and just play it out. If you do this early enough, then when you get the notice in the fall that your loans are coming due, that notice is not going to come from your prior loan servicer. They no longer have your loans. It's going to come from FedLoan Servicing. And that's why we had on the previous slide, it's extremely important that your very first payment toward PSLF eligibility go to FedLoan Servicing so they can track your payments from payment number one. Now notice the last asterisk. If you are consolidating your loans, and we have a separate module on federal consolidation, you need to wait until after the consolidation loan goes through before you submit the PSLF employment certification form. Now, a few reminders as we close up this module on how to enroll in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. The employment certification form, folks, it's not required, but unless you submit it, you are going to have to prove that you made all 120 payments on time while you were working for an eligible PSLF employer, and you really don't want to do that. If you have any interest at all in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, and again, you may not know for a fact you're going to play that out all the way through and qualify for PSLF, you're just trying to make payments so that you get to the end of your training and have the option of staying in PSLF. So if you have any interest at all in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, we strongly advise you to submit the employment certification form every single year. And a reminder, you want your very first payment to go to FedLoan Servicing. If you waited a year and didn't submit the Public Service Loan Forgiveness employment certification form, and you made a year's worth of payments to another loan servicer, those payments count toward PSLF eligibility as long as your teaching hospital is a nonprofit teaching hospital, but those payments weren't made to FedLoan Servicing, and so FedLoan Servicing will have to go back and review all those payments you made to another loan servicer, and it gets a bit complicated when you've made some eligible payments that were not made to FedLoan Servicing. So once again, please ensure that your very first eligible payment with pay-as-you-earn or revised pay-as-you-earn is made to FedLoan Servicing. FedLoan Servicing sends annual statements to borrowers that record the prior year payments over the period of time that was listed on the employment certification form. So in other words, it lags a year, but every year you should get an annual statement from FedLoan Servicing saying, this is how many eligible payments you've made, and this is how many payments are remaining before you qualify for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. It is extremely important, as it always is with student loan repayment matters, to document everything you do. As we close up this repayment module on enrolling in PSLF, a reminder of some resources that may help you. The employment certification form is available online at studentaid.gov/public service, and there's some additional information on the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program on that site. We try and keep a current statement on the status of the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program on our homepage, PGPresents.com. So hopefully these resources will help you. This is the end of module number 9.